Okay, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today, inshallah, we have a new selection, and our selection's title is So You Want to Be President. So You Want to Be President. This selection has written by Judith St. George. Judith St. George. Illustrated by David Small. Illustrated by David Small. Genre, expository text. Expository text gives information about real people and events. So when you get the genre like expository, so that means this is a way of explanation. That means the selection contains information we have to know, and these information are real. Okay, so expository text gives information about real people and events. Question of the week: what is the job of the President of the United States? What is the job of the President of the United States? So our selection's title again is So You Want to Be President by Judith St. George, illustrated by David Small. Genre, expository text, gives information about real people and events. Question of the week: what is the job of the President of the United States? First of all, guys, we have to know about the author of the story. So our author of today is Mrs. Judith St. George. So let's know about the author. So pay your attention, guys, and listen to the reader, please.
Meet the author and the illustrator, Judith St. George and David Small. Judith St. George first discovered writing when she wrote a play in 6th grade. Since then, she has gone on to write more than 40 books. After publishing several books about American history, she decided to write about the presidency. She thought, how about making my book on presidents amusing and fun as well as informative? David Small, the illustrator, draws political cartoons for newspapers and illustrates children's books. So You Want to Be President was a perfect opportunity for him to combine these two pursuits. I hope readers will laugh first and then begin to think a little more deeply, Mr. Small says. Caricatures are not only funny pictures of people. The best ones make us see familiar faces in a new way. They exaggerate prominent aspects of a face to make us re-examine our heroes and other public figures in a different, more human light. The book concerns presidents as the human beings they all are.
Okay, so this is, guys, about
Here are the other
author and about the illustrator of the book. So the author here is Ms. Judith St. George, and when she was young, or when she was a child, she has, or let me say that she had started writing that time. So she was in a grade like 6 that time. She had started to write, and like her attitude that time to write about American history. Then she had changed this attitude to be like about presidency. But she has written this selection, So You Want to Be President, to be like informative, something like informal, and in the same time amusing and fun. So, and this is, we're gonna know together, inshallah, about this election. And David is Small. This is illustrator. Illustrator means the one who like creates and draw the pictures of the draws the pictures of the selection. So this is called like illustrator. So the illustrator today here is Mr. David Small, the one who creates and draws the cartoons, pictures of the presidents in this election. So this is the meaning of illustrator. Okay, and next we have the main elements of the selection, like a plot, what happened, the story, characters, the story like contains, and setting, where and when the story like took place, conflict, the problems which like are struggling with in the story, and theme, what lesson did you learn from the story. Then we have a page, it's very important page. Every selection has this page just to create new sentences, to know the meaning and to guess the meaning of each new vocabulary you have. So we have some new vocabularies today, guys, and we have this like story, or about that short story, or this comprehension, class, election. So let's know about it and let's read it. So pay your attention, listen to the reader. It's page 289.
Means antlers. Class election. The students in grade 4 are electing class officers. 4 students are running for president. Stephen is vain about his looks. He puts just his name and his face on his signs. He says politics is dull, but winning is fun. Suzanne acts humble about how well she plays sports. Yet all her signs show her making the winning goal in last year's soccer championship. Omar solemnly promises that he will run a clean campaign. Then he makes fun of the other candidates. Still, his speeches are a howling success. Maya says that unlike the President of the United States, the President of Grade 4 does not have to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. However, she says the Grade 4 President does have a responsibility to all the students in Grade 4, not just the ones who voted for him or her. Maya was Grade 3 President and is captain of the softball team. If you were a student in Grade 4, whom would you vote for?
Okay, so this is about that page, guys. So right now, let's know about the new vocabularies we have in our selection. Okay. So the first word we have today, guys, is constitution. 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 This word is noun, and it means the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. So this word is noun. Knowing the part of the speech of the word is very important, guys. Okay? And that may help you to decide the position of this word in the sentence. So constitution, it's noun. It means the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. The next word is howling. Howling. Howling is adjective, and it means very great. When you say about something is howling, so that means is very great. It's adjective. And the next word is humble. Humble. This word is an adjective too, and it means not proud, modest. When you feel not proud of something or yourself, so you feel that you are humble. So humble is an adjective, not proud or modest. Next word, politics. Politics. This word is noun, and it means the work of government or management of public business. So the word politics, it's noun, and it means the work of government or management of public business. Next word, responsibility. Responsibility. It's noun, and it means the act or fact of taking care of someone or something, or its obligation. This is another synonym for the word responsibility. So responsibility, it's noun, and it means the act or fact of taking care of someone or something, obligation. The next word, solemnly. The N is silent, guys. That's why it's in a red color here. It's silent, not pronounced. So don't pronounce like solemnly. No, this is wrong. It's solemnly. It's adverb, and it means seriously or earnestly or with dignity. So these are like three synonyms for the word solemnly. So solemnly means seriously or earnestly or with dignity. It's adverb. The next word is vain. Vain. It's an adjective. And it means having too much pride in your looks or ability. Having too much pride in your looks or ability. Called vain. And this is all about new vocabularies of our selection today, guys. And by the way, you have like a dictionary at the end of the book, which starts with page 464 if you want to check any word. Question of the week. What is the job of the President of the United States? Let's answer this question. How the President does his job. People, President, Congress, oath, clerics, establish national parks, places, Washington, D.C., Capitol, Oval Office, and Dome. What is the private side of the President? So, when I ask you a question, does the President have a private side in his life? Does she or he have like a privacy to get vacations, to enjoy his life, to visit different places, to get relaxation? So does the President have all of that or not? So this is what we're gonna answer together right now, guys. Okay, so let's see or let's know about the private side of the President. Now we have a video to watch together to know about an example of one of the presidents, guys. Pay attention and watch the video carefully.
The Kennedys, a rich, famous, and powerful family. Few other names in history have been associated with hope, glamour, and severe blows of fate as much as the Kennedys. John F. Kennedy moves into the White House in January 1961, and for the first time, politics becomes young, vibrant, and sexy. The dream of a better America ends with his assassination in Dallas on November 22, 1963. John F. Kennedy's untimely death plays a major role in the myth surrounding his name. His presidency, with Jackie Kennedy by his side, will later be compared with Camelot, the mythical castle of King Arthur.
I'm very proud of my uncle and my father. They gave us a tremendous gift, which was the legacy of their work and a very clear and coherent philosophy about what America's supposed to look like, a vision of what America's supposed to look like.
In the USA, his words appeal to people across all social classes. His signal for a new beginning is received with enthusiasm by the younger generation all around the globe.
He was a figure of promise. He was young. America was in need of something new. He dared to say we could go to the moon. What a wild thought.
What most people don't know is that JFK's health has been frail for most of his life.
If the public knew how many medical problems he had, I think it would have destroyed his presidential ambitions, because they would have said, no, it's not to be trusted. You know, a president has his finger on the nuclear trigger.
The Kennedys lived the life of the American upper class. They owe their wealth to JFK's father, Joseph P. Kennedy.
Okay, so this is about the life of one of the presidents who governed the United States of America. It's John Kennedy. So the private side of the president, guys, think of all the times you hear about the president of the United States. Being like a president is a very public job and very hard worker like person. So people look at everything the president does. We see him giving speeches. We see him shaking hands with leaders. We see the president waving and smiling as he gets off a plane. What people may not know is that there is a private side to each president, to enjoy his life, to get the relaxation too. So being the president is hard work. Presidents must keep up with like news from around the world. They must know all sides of big issues. They must make hard decisions. Presidents read and study to learn about each issue in their country and in every single like continent around the world. They have like meetings with their staff to help them make decisions. They also make time to relax. They get exercise, take vacations, and do things with their families. When President Barack Obama, for example, is on vacation, he spends time with his family in Hawaii. He also plays basketball to stay in shape. George W. Bush ran to stay in shape. Bill Clinton, the president before Bush, liked to run too. He played the saxophone. He also liked to eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Maybe it is the relaxing by get the helps each president smile in public. It is often the work they do in the private that helps them make decisions that shape our country. So this is like the private side of the president, guys. And a president job at home and around the world, so many different like issues and affairs and like decisions the president must take to manage his job. Okay, so this is about that side, and let's watch. So this is another video about our selection, so let's watch it together to know more about the president.
So, you want to be president? There are good things about being president, and there are bad things about being president. One of the good things is that the president lives in a big White House called the White House. Another good thing about being president is that the president has a swimming pool, bowling alley, and movie theater. The president doesn't have to eat yucky vegetables. As a boy, George Bush had to eat broccoli. When George Bush grew up, he became president. That was the end of the broccoli.
One of the bad things about being president is that the president always has to be dressed up. William McKinley wore a frock coat, vest, pinstripe trousers, stiff white shirt, black satin tie, gloves, a top hat, and a red carnation in his buttonhole every day. People get mad at the president. Someone once threw a cabbage at William Howard Taft. That didn't bother Taft. He quipped, "I see that one of my adversaries has lost his head." Lots of people want to be president. If you want to be president, it might help if your name is James. 6 presidents were named James. President Carter liked to be called Jimmy. 4 Johns, 4 Williams. President Clinton liked to be called Bill. 2 Georges, 2 Andrews, and 2 Franklins. All became president. You probably weren't born in a log cabin. That's too bad. People are crazy about log cabin presidents. They elected 8. William Harrison was born in a big Virginia mansion, though he won the election with a log cabin and hard cider slogan. If you want to be president, your size doesn't matter. Presidents have come in all shapes and sizes. Abraham Lincoln was the tallest, 6 feet 4 inches. His stovepipe hat made him look even taller. James Madison was the smallest, 5 feet 4 inches and only 100 pounds. William Howard Taft was the biggest, more than 300 pounds. He was so big that he had a special tub built for his White House bathroom. Four men could fit in the tub. Maybe Taft's problem was that presidents can order any food they want. Andrew Johnson once served his guests turtle soup, oysters, fish, beef, turkey, mutton chops, chicken, mushrooms, string beans, partridges, duck, pudding, jellies, and lots of wine. All at one dinner. Though the Constitution says you'll have to wait until you're 35, young, old, and in between have become president. Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, at 42, was the youngest. He had pillow fights with his children and played football on the White House lawn. You must always remember that the president is about 6, a friend said. Ronald Reagan was the oldest. When he first ran for president, he was 69. He joked that it was the 30th anniversary of his 39th birthday. Some presidents joked, and some didn't. Presidents' personalities have all been different. Benjamin Harrison was so cold that one senator said talking to Harrison was like talking to a hitching post. Calvin Coolidge was so shy and quiet that a dinner guest once made a bet that she could get him to say more than 2 words. "You lose," he told her. Andrew Jackson certainly wasn't shy. When he ran for president, his opponents printed a list of his duels, fights, shootings, and brawls. 14 in all. Don't worry about your looks. Abraham Lincoln was a homely man, but he was one of our best presidents. He reunited the country by winning the Civil War. Someone once called Lincoln two-faced. "If I am two-faced, would I wear the face that I have now?" Lincoln asked. Warren Harding was a handsome man, but he was one of our worst presidents. He gave government jobs to his crooked friends. "I am not fit for this office and never should have been here," he admitted. Do you have pesky brothers and sisters? Every one of our presidents did. Benjamin Harrison takes the prize. He had 11. James Polk and James Buchanan both had 9. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and John Kennedy each had 8. 2 presidents were orphans, Andrew Jackson and Herbert Hoover. A president in your family tree is a plus. John Quincy Adams was John Adams' son. Theodore Roosevelt and Franklin Roosevelt were 5th cousins. Benjamin Harrison was William Harrison's grandson. James Madison and Zachary Taylor were 2nd cousins. Some presidents threw money around, and some were penny pinchers. James Monroe ordered French silverware, china, candlesticks, chandeliers, clocks, mirrors, vases, rugs, draperies, and furniture for the White House. 93 crates in all. William Harrison was thrifty. He walked to market every morning with a basket over his arm. Do you have a pet? All kinds of pets have lived in the White House, mostly dogs. Herbert Hoover had 3 dogs, Piney, Snowflake, and Tut. Tut must have been a Democrat. He and his Republican master never got along. Theodore Roosevelt's children didn't just have pets. They ran a zoo. They had dogs, cats, guinea pigs, snakes, mice, rats, badgers, raccoons, parrots, and a Shetland pony called Algonquin. To cheer up his sick brother, young Quentin once took Algonquin upstairs in the White House elevator. You don't have to be musical to be president. Ulysses Grant certainly wasn't. He knew only 2 tunes. One is Yankee Doodle, he said, and the other one isn't. But many presidents were musical. Thomas Jefferson, John Tyler, and Woodrow Wilson played the violin. John Quincy Adams, the flute. Chester Arthur, the banjo. Harry Truman and Richard Nixon, the piano. Bill Clinton, the saxophone. And Warren Harding, almost any brass instrument, including the sousaphone. Some presidents knew how to dance, and some didn't. Our first president did a mean minuet. At his inaugural ball, George Washington danced with every lady but his wife. Mrs. W. had stayed home. James Madison's opinion of his inaugural ball? I would much rather be in bed. Abraham Lincoln wasn't much of a dancer. Miss Todd, I should like to dance with you the worst way, he told his future wife. Miss Todd later said to a friend, he certainly did. Woodrow Wilson liked to do the jig step while singing silly ditties. Not all presidents danced, but most had a sport. John Quincy Adams was a first-rate swimmer. Once, when he was skinny dipping in the Potomac River, a woman reporter snatched his clothes and sat on them until he gave her an interview. Rutherford Hayes played croquet on the White House lawn. Ronald Reagan split wood.
Hey, look out.
William McKinley's idea of exercise was to sit under a tree with a good book. Golf has been big with presidents. Dwight Eisenhower and John Kennedy were especially good. But when Gerald Ford, George Bush, and Bill Clinton teamed up for a golf game, 3 of their shots clobbered spectators. Though most presidents went to college, 9 didn't. George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Grover Cleveland, and Harry Truman. Andrew Johnson couldn't read until he was 14. He didn't learn to write until after he was married. Thomas Jefferson was top-notch in the brains department. He was an expert on agriculture, law, politics, music, geography, surveying, philosophy, and botany. In his spare time, he designed his own house, a mansion, founded the University of Virginia, and whipped up the Declaration of Independence. If you want to be president, you might consider joining the Army. George Washington, Andrew Jackson, William Harrison, Zachary Taylor, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford Hayes, James Garfield, Chester Arthur, Benjamin Harrison, and Dwight Eisenhower were all generals. If you can't be a general, be a hero like Theodore Roosevelt or John Kennedy. Roosevelt's Rough Riders charged up Kettle Hill to help win the Spanish-American War. Kennedy led his crew to safety in World War II when the Japanese sank his PT boat. Don't be a Franklin Pierce. In his very first battle, Franklin Pierce's horse bucked. He was thrown against his saddle and fainted. His horse fell, broke its leg, and Pierce hurt his knee. He got elected anyway.
Thank you, and I want to thank all of you very much for a very long night. It's a great pleasure to be here. A great pleasure to be here.
Another route to the White House is to be vice president, though most don't think much of the job. Other vice presidents have been heard from. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Martin Van Buren, Richard Nixon, and George Bush were all elected president. Gerald Ford became president when Richard Nixon resigned. John Tyler, Millard Fillmore, Calvin Coolidge, and Harry Truman moved up when a president got sick and died. Andrew Johnson, Chester Arthur, Theodore Roosevelt, and Lyndon Johnson became top man when guns were drawn, bullets flew, and a president was assassinated. Almost any job can lead to the White House. Presidents have been lawyers, teachers, farmers, sailors, engineers, surveyors, mayors, governors, congressmen, senators, and ambassadors. Harry Truman owned a men's shop.
Morning, Harry.
Andrew Johnson was a tailor. Ronald Reagan was a movie actor.
Watch it there, Randy. That's one for the Gipper.
One thing is certain. If you want to be president and stay president, be honest. Harry Truman paid for his own postage stamps. Grover Cleveland was famous for his motto, "Tell the truth." Other presidents weren't so honest. Democrat Bill Clinton was impeached for lying under oath. Republican Richard Nixon's staff broke into Democratic headquarters to steal campaign secrets. He covered up the crime and then lied about it. That was the end of Richard Nixon as president. There they are, a mixed bag of 41 presidents. What did they think of being head man? George Washington, who became our very first president in 1789, worried about his new line of work. "I greatly fear that my countrymen will expect too much from me," he wrote to a friend. Some loved the job. "No president has ever enjoyed himself as much as I," Theodore Roosevelt said. Others hated it. "The 4 most miserable years of my life," John Quincy Adams complained. Every president was different from every other, and yet no woman has been president. No person of color has been president. No person who wasn't a Protestant or a Roman Catholic has been president. But if you care enough, anything is possible. 34 presidents came and went before a Roman Catholic, John Kennedy, was elected. Almost 200 years passed before a woman, Geraldine Ferraro, ran for vice president. It's said that people who run for president have swelled heads. It's said that people who run for president are greedy. They want power. They want fame. But being president can be wanting to serve your country, like George Washington, who left the Virginia plantation he loved 3 times to lead the country he loved even more. It can be looking toward the future, like Thomas Jefferson, who bought the Louisiana Territory and then sent Lewis and Clark west to find a route to the Pacific. They did. It can be wanting to turn lives around, like Franklin Roosevelt, who provided soup and bread for the hungry, jobs for the jobless, and funds for the elderly to live on. It can be wanting to make the world a better place, like John Kennedy, who sent Peace Corps volunteers around the globe to teach and help others. Every single president has taken this oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Only 35 words. But it's a big order when you're president of this country. Abraham Lincoln was tops at filling that order. I know very well that many others might in this matter, as in others, do better than I can, he said. But I am here. I must do the best I can and bear the responsibility of taking the course which I feel I ought to take. That's the bottom line. Tall, short, fat, thin, talkative, quiet, vain, humble, lawyer, teacher, or soldier. This is what most of our presidents have tried to do, each in his own way. Some succeeded, some failed. If you want to be president, a good president, pattern yourself after the best. Our best have asked more of themselves than they thought they could give. They have had the courage, spirit, and will to do what they knew was right. Most of all, their first priority has always been the people and the country they served.
What your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Election 2000 for president was so close.
Okay, guys, so this is the that's why our selection is like expository text, because it contains different information about being president. Okay, so this is all about the selection. So right now let's practice the new vocabularies we have in that selection. So let's get back again to the vocabularies. Okay, so the first word is constitution, guys. Constitution, the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Howling, very great, humble, not proud, modest. Politics, the work of government or management of public business. Responsibility, the actual fact of taking care of someone or something or obligation. Solemnly means seriously, earnestly, with dignity. Vain, it means having too much pride in your looks or ability. So let's practice the words together. Okay, Ali Wa'il. Okay, pronounce the words and say the meaning for each.
Constitution, the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Holy, very great, humble, not proud, modest, politics. The work of government, management of public business, responsibility. The act or fact of taking care of someone or something. Obligation. Solemnly. Seriously, earnestly, with dignity. Vain. Having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay, thanks, Ali. So right now, guys, let's open our readers and writers page 155. Readers and writers in the book, page 155, please. I'll send you the meaning of the words through the WhatsApp group to solve the page by yourself. So, 1 second. So here we are. Now you have the meanings of the words, guys. So open the page. It's page 155 in your notebook. Page 155. Solve it, guys, and send it through the WhatsApp group. The meanings of the words you have already in the group. Just check the meaning of each word and solve page 155 in your notebook. Abdulaziz. Number 2 is wrong, Abdulaziz. Pay the attention. Number 1 is correct, but number 2 is wrong. Okay. Number 3 is wrong. And okay, so only number 2 and 3. Fix number 2 and 3, Abdulaziz. Okay, Khalid Sultan, excellent, Khalid. علي وائل. Okay, excellent يا علي. Karim Isam, your picture isn't clear. You can't see anything. Yasin Nadal. Okay, excellent Yasin. Okay, who's else, guys? Who has finished? Send your page, guys. Okay. Nobody has sent yet. Okay, so these are the words of the page 155. Okay, so everyone can check his answers, and at the end, after completing 6 from 6 till 10, so you get the word executive, guys. It's executive. So the word executive, something about responsibility in the government. Okay, to be responsible of taking the decisions and taking the action of any decision to apply it. So this is executive. At the end, we have a new word, okay, as a clue. Okay. Okay, guys, and we have one more thing about our weekly plan. So we have page 6 and 7 from 1 to 7. This is in the new booklet. We have a new English booklet I have prepared for selections. So we have page, this is the new booklet. guys, I think the administration didn't send this booklet yet, okay? But it's very important, this booklet. So we have page 6 and page 7. Okay. So 1 second. Because we need these pages are very important. So I'll send you the pages. I just want to do the answers and send it through the group, no problem. This is page 6. Okay. And this is page 7. Okay, and this is the page of the new vocabularies of today. Okay. So according to the plan, guys, you have to answer from 1 to 7. Only the new vocabularies of today. That's it. Because today just we have introduction. So only that part you have to answer it today. From 1 till 7. That's it. Okay? Okay. محمد فهد نعمان. محمد فهد.
Yes.
Read.
Concentration, the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Offering a very great, humble, not a proud, modest, politics, the work of government, management of public persons responsibility, the act or fact of taking care of someone or something. Obligation. Nominally, serially, earnestly, with dignity, when having too much pride in our looks or ability.
Okay. Okay, محمد. عبد العزيز قادري.
Yes, Mr.
نعم.
Selection vocabulary. Use the following routine to introduce this week's tested selection vocabulary. Constitution. The written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Holy, very great. Humble, not proud, modest. Protects the work of government, management of public business, responsibility, the act or fact of taking care of someone or something, obligation, ceremonially, resource,
Solemnly. It's not solemnly. Don't pronounce the N.
solemnly, seriously, earnestly, with dignity, vain, having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay. Good يا عبد العزيز. خالد سلطان.
Yes, Master.
Okay, Khalid, read.
Okay. Constitution, the written set of phantomal policy by which the United States is governed, holding give very a very great humble, not abroad, modest, politics, the work of it, government, management of public business, reliability, act or fact of taking care of someone or something. Application similarly.
Solemnly.
Solemnly. Solemnly. Sincerely. Earnestly. With the dancing that having too much pride in your luck or ability.
Okay, very good يا خالد. محمد لافي.
Yes, Mr. Constitution, the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Howling, very great, humble, not proud, modest. Politics, the work of a government, management of public businesses. Responsibility, in the act or fact, taking care of someone or something. Obligation, solemnly, seriously, earnestly, with dignity, vain, having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay, very good يا محمد. كريم عصام.
Yes, Mr. Constitution, the written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Howling, very great, humble, not proud, modest. Politics, the work of government, management of public business. Responsibility, the act or fact of taking care of someone or something. Obligation, solemnly, seriously, earnestly, with this dignitic, vain, dignity, vain, having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay, very good يا كريم. ياسين نضال.
Yes, Mr.
ياسين.
Selection vocabulary. Concentration. The word same set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Howling, very great. Humble, not proud. Modest. Polite. The work of government. Management of public business. responsibility, the act of fact of taking care of someone or something. Obligation. Solemnly. Seriously. Earnestly. With dignity. Why? Having too much bread in your looks or ability.
Okay, thanks Yasin, very good. حليم الفضل.
Yes, mister.
Yes, read.
Use the following pronoun to interrupt. This week is tested selected by quality. Constitution. The right is a set of fundamental principles by which the United States government. Holy, very great, humble, not proud, modest. Protects the work of government, management, and public business. Responsibility, the act or fact of taking care of someone or something, obliging them. So many, seriously, earnestly, with dignity. They, having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay, thanks يا حليم. Good. طلال يوسف.
Yes, mister.
يا طلال.
Constitutional. The written set of fundamental principles by which the United States is governed. Holding, very great, humble, not proud, modest, protest, the work of government, management of public business, responsibility, the act or fact of taking care of someone or something, obligation, solemnly, seriously, earnestly, with dignity, than having too much pride in your looks or ability.
Okay, thanks يا طلال, very good. Okay guys, so time is up for this session. See you inshallah. Have a nice day. Goodbye everyone.